Hey team, Ryan here, Chief Engineer BCS 175 here in Antalya, Turkey. We'll just give you a quick update, quick walkthrough, see how things are progressing, see some of the works on board, current and ongoing. Be happy to be here, man.
It's going to be a great adventure.
It's happening. Fish on, baby. Let's go.
The main point of this journey is to chase 1,000-pound marlin. It's been Anthony's lifelong goal to catch a 1,000-pounder. His passion for this sport, it's motivated me to just become a better fisherman.
This is a satellite tag. It'll track where she goes, how deep she goes, how far she goes, how fast she goes. Then it will send all the data so that we can learn about her behavior for the last 200, 250 days. Yeah, company! We know the day we die, baby!
The best adventure, fishing adventure in the world. Not just now. This will last forever.
We are in the wheelhouse. Up top here, you'll see our exterior bridge space, and then we've got some cushions coming in here in the next few weeks. A bit of a leisure area, stay out of the weather, and behind you here we've got the chart table and main helm station. Week or two we've got commissioning work coming up, and we'll be running through the final interior inspections of all areas. Hopefully everything runs smoothly, but we haven't encountered too many problems interior-wise thus far. Similar size-wise, it's just dividing the sections into, you're limiting your navigational space to just provide a better guest experience as a whole, I think. A lot more aesthetically pleasing in a sense. That 150 is quite industrial. They're really smarting things up. A main deck salon here, great little chill out, hangout zone. I'm sure it's going to get used a lot for the fishing boys after a hard day out there. Again, still bits and pieces in progress. A lot of interior inspections, well, final inspections to come, but you know, it's just small things. Of this 53-meter series or 175-foot series, this is the new and improved yacht support series, you know, targeted for a support boat, you know, more on the yachting sector, I guess you would say, as opposed to a, you know, commercial sector, you know, outfitted accommodation-wise, as opposed to, you know, these vessels are sometimes used as transport or support vessels, wind farms, oil rigs, the likes of that. So it's not a new platform by any means, but they're pumping these out here at Damen Antalya along with the Sea Explorer series as kind of new generation thing. Little pantry, you know, this is drinks prep, morning prep, storage space. Behind me is a dumbwaiter, save on those stairs. Obviously a bit different to the 150. And then moving forward to guest accommodation. Into the master stateroom. As you'll see, it's just protection coming off and getting placed. Yeah, support for handover. A lot of this stuff is remaining like this for seatrials, keep mucky fingers off it and the likes. But again, just rats and mice to be finalized in these accommodation areas. 20 in total, 10 guests, 10 crew. With the boat just launching on Monday, just cleaning it up now. Kind of get her outside, smarten her up a bit. Still a lot of work going on out here, just cosmetically. Obviously, we've had the issue with the starboard main engine. That came about through a valve failure. Initially, it was mentioned to us it was a 1 in 3.6 million failure of this single inlet valve. Through kind of a few developments, we've now been notified that it is in fact a couple more of these valves in circulation that have led to, potentially other failures. And because of that, that's why MTU are now coming to the party with German technicians and rechecking of this port engine. So they just want to, give Anthony every confidence that it's not going to happen again. Obviously make me feel a bit better as well. And then sea trials, we're aiming for the 14th, 15th of March. So all goes well past that, and we've got a 27 March handover. Damen, for a new shipbuilder, they're not doing retrofits, they're doing new builds. For them to carry on that work was, I think, quite big for them, but they seem to handle it well. The welding timeline I was a bit, conscious of, but they've ticked that box, they've met that timeline. Monday was always our target date to get the boat back in the water, and we've achieved that now. With that being said, we're not out of the bushes yet. We've still got a long way to go. Recommissioning, we're yet to meet Lloyd's certification on, a few bits and pieces in the engine room. Obviously the big one being the engine and the endurance test. That's a 4-hour, 100% load test on both engines. A lot of the cabling was removed to carry out that work for the alarm and monitoring system. So all of these alarms, not just main engine and machinery, all the little rats and mice, tank alarms, high level, low level, fire alarms, all of these need to be retested on the AMS. Because of the location also of the main air conditioning plant, they are now recommissioning that. The crane, actually, there's another big one, is just being placed on board Tuesday, Wednesday. Still needs to be fired up and tested, running through all the smaller systems. The chunk of the work's done now, but this commissioning period I'm mindful of. But we're assured by Damen Antalya and Damen Yachting that we will be meeting this March 27 deadline. So it'll be good to get out of here. Crew mess here, Tanner. Big difference to the 150, as you'll see. Yeah, nice space, great platform. Be 10 of us in here. At times, it's a home away from home for everybody, not just crew. Keb, OB, Steve, David, everyone, Woody, heli pilots, normal pilots. To have this ambient light come in, the portholes and the likes, it makes a huge difference for us. Yeah. In regards to crew leisure and eating and just day-to-day living, it does make a huge difference. Yeah. The world tour has been running long enough now. We've got a bit of a camaraderie going on, and it's only going to get bigger and badder, right? So behind you here, Galley. Again, you'll see protections around small little bits and pieces. This is a big one for us, and another interior inspection coming up. Completely different platform to the 150 being on the main deck. This being down lower deck, it opens up a few more options. We've also got the provision plants forward here as well for the chef. 150 wise, they're in the aft and in the tech space. So as opposed to walking outside or walking through the engine room, he's got accessibility right here. Fridge, freezer, other storage areas as well. 3.5, 4 square meters of floor space here. Will be good for a month-long trip for sure. And then basically mirrored for your freezer side. To have this accessibility, 4 steps to the galley, fantastic. Kind of a dry store, AVIT rack, comps, bits and pieces and entertainment. Obviously it's a narrow area, so not a huge amount of space, but enough, for what we want to do and this size boat. At the moment we're in alignment condition, they call it. They adjust the boat to sit as they wish whilst they do the work on the gearbox and main engine. Forward tech space, or bow thruster room. Bow thruster, our main water making plant. And then to the after that, all our water delivery and treatment systems. So that's obviously filtering shore supply and any water that is made on board will obviously be heavily reliant on these water makers. So smaller hot water systems, stuff like that. Crash pump emergency systems in here. This is firefighting equipment. And also our black and grey water sanitation equipment. Jet's vacuum system on board, running all our toilets. So she's not just working on gravity, it's actually within a vacuum and sucking, you know, waste down into these tanks. From there, it's getting picked up by this Haman, very common system on board these size boats, treating the effluent and pumping it overboard. So we hold about 4,000 litres of black water. So that's just from your toilets. And then your grey water, we're holding 30,000 litres. And that's 2 tanks under the crew mess area. And you're treating both the black and grey water. Underneath accommodation spaces, all made up of tanks. So you've got a central kind of duct, if you will, for piping and electrical. As mentioned earlier, you know, you've got your wastewaters here underneath the living area. Water is for that, and then from this bulkhead aft is our fuel storage. So 155,000 litres on board, yeah. Outboard, either side, made up of tanks. This engineer cabin by himself, and then you've got a twin cabin here on port side, and we've got 4 cabins like this sharing the captain cabin. Nice space actually. So he's got his own little desk in here, alarm and monitoring, nice little display here for navigation as well. This was actually a change order, so it's not Damen standard, but to have, you know, that peace of mind here whilst you're having a kit, no brainer. Captain, engineer, mate on board. You've got a second engineer helping out. We've got 2 interior and then another 3 boys on deck. Yeah. So they'll split their duties as well. Just a little bit of hierarchy, as like a bosun, a lead deckhand, and a deckhand. Yeah. Obviously, running the program we're running, we need a lot of hands on deck. That's where, you know, I guess we have the emphasis on family. Yeah, whoever you're living with, you really got to get along with. Every day's different. You just have to be ready to jump, and I guess that's half the excitement. Obviously, the destinations are another attraction, but just yeah, you really test yourself in a number of ways, particularly up here. You know, these guys on the 150 haven't just spent 30, 40 odd days. You know, as a core group, you really got to get along with everyone. If not, you got to keep it together. Little laundry space. Twin washer and dryer with an additional washer and dryer in the aft beach club. You know, in terms of difference, 150, 175, double, if not bigger, you know, double the size. And then, I guess, not to be cliche, but this is where the magic happens. This is the old girl, 60 odd hours on her, and then behind you, brand spanking. She's been run on the test bench in Germany. As mentioned earlier, the MTU techs will be joining us from Germany later in the month of February and commissioning this, putting her into life. A lot of this has been disassembled for this removal and reinstallation. So all this piping you see here in front of the engine, a lot of that, in order to get the engine out, has been, you know, disassembled, and now it's just slowly, piece by piece, coming back in. Newer boat, now having to meet emission requirements. In terms of, you know, space-wise, this is a lot more compact. Whilst it's a bigger boat, you know, more systems, and just a lot more compact. You know, just for reference, as you're walking through here, I'm 6'2". Having to lift the engine, it's giving you less than, let's put this in inches, 4 or 5 inches of clearance. So emergency fire discharge systems, you know, these have been now decommissioned again, removed to allow the engine to come up. What they did was actually use essentially a railway system, sliding big bars underneath the engine. And after removing the gearbox, bits and pieces, all your exhausts, actually slid the engine aft, which allowed then to be picked up and removed. New engine comes in, basically the reverse process. Placed down, slid forward, and that's what they're finalizing, you know, with this alignment. As a whole, it's been going on for December, January, basically. You know, it's not just throw the engine overboard. Everything being dressed, you know, the exhaust lagging, stuff like that, all the painting and the small details. We can't just go chopping things. It doesn't make life easy in the long run. So a lot of this cabling you'll see here was actually disconnected, you know, still yet to come in. This is your generator control box. All of this needs to be reinstalled, but main AC plant, your DEF system over here, your diesel exhaust fluid, all this cabling was pulled back, then the exhaust was taken out. So this is your main engine exhaust, and also some of your generator exhausts have been cut, removed. The SCR, this is this big unit at the back on the outboard side, Tanner. It's basically 4 points of contact, essentially lifted up, shifted further aft to allow for more space between the gearbox and main engine. From there, lifting out the gearbox, lifting out the coupling, and then from there allowing them that space to, you know, do the work as spoken of the main engine. So she's not it's not an easy feat. Floor yet to be reinstalled here. You know, so much small details to yet happen, and what obviously we're all working towards and pushing for that March 27. But you know, we had a bit of a supervisor up top, and then between 3 or 4 guys, chain buckle on the forward end, they shimmied her back. You know, amazingly, well, maybe not amazingly, but the lift was actually really straightforward, and they did a nice job of it. This is main engine exhaust, genset exhaust, all of this has been removed. Yeah, not an easy feat. All of the SCR fully disconnected, just to allow more space. So still a lot of work to go. The electricians, their timeline is Monday week, so they got another week of wiring, and they'll be out of here. And then all the lagging, the heat insulation for the exhaust will start to go on. I think their normal working day has been from, they're kicking off at 8, finishing at 6. That's Monday to Friday. At a minimum, even like on a Saturday I'm talking, you'll have 5, 6 Damen guys down here tinkering away. It was also discussed to go through both the side of the hull and the bottom of the hull. The stabilizers had a big impact on that decision, and you can see here what we're standing on, a big girder and another big inboard girder. You know, to come up with the program to bring it up and just go through the deck, straightforward, was great. Being a compact engine room, we've had ventilation issues as well. Again, back down to the first build of the series, it's a design and build. Yeah, so it's not something that's just straightforward. So now have confirmation that MTU Germany will just be running the program from here on out. So it instills a lot of confidence within myself, but you know, hopefully that's passed up to Anthony and Steve and Alex. It's not exactly a situation you want to be in the middle of nowhere. So you can see I'm a bit down about it, and been here for a while, but you know, we are moving forward, and the Damen team here in Antalya, fantastic as well. You know, they're great people, you know, great culture. It's been what still is a great experience, and we got another 2-3 months. So real team vibes, as you will, between, you know, Bad Company, Damen Holland, Damen Antalya. Everyone, you know, got that one goal, and we'll get there. Yeah. You'll see tanks still open, stuff like that. Again, we're re-inspecting. So we've actually, that's been in the last 2 days, re-inspecting this settling tank. And then we'll take you further aft. We've got 2 trim tanks, port and starboard, re-inspecting those as well. Little workshop area, additional provision plant. They've got it on paper as a garbage store, but it's going to be utilized. I could imagine bait, provisions, ice, everything. So that's really, really handy. Nice big space back here. Beach club, they'll call it. Again, not just storage, it's technical space, you know. Port and starboard steering systems, control cabinets and the likes for the provision plant. Shore power unit, you know, whilst we're alongside her on the dock. Also acts as a harmonic filter while we're on generator. To your starboard side here, we've got two compressors, air compressors, so really, really nice to have ship's air on board. It's good to see things moving again. The commissioning boys are happy. No doubt they're starting to get back into the swing of things. In turn, that means I'll be busier, but that's not always a bad thing. Here, this is the main area of the work that's been done for the starboard engine replacement. We've got the electricians here, Mustafa. He's been looking after us. He's been a part of the whole build, actually. Main ventilation fans for the engine room, main ventilation fan for the beach club. All still needs to be wired up. That hole, give or take, would have been a good 8 feet easily, if not 10 feet, kind of back to here. And all of that crane base was cut out and as one section lifted off. And from there, your gearbox and engine came out of here. So it was, yeah, it's a good feat. It's good to see this progressing. Addition of a passerelle, hydraulically operated. So that'll come out, allow us a few options to, you know, get personnel and equipment on and off board. A little bit safer. Although in saying that, the places we go are pretty rugged. And on the port side there, a little outdoor shower with pumps and controls for the onboard petrol. You saw earlier in the beach club that storage is probably coming about halfway midship. That's accessible storage from internal space, and this port aft quarter is through this deck hatch here. So that's your 2,000 litres of fuel. That's great, as opposed to carrying 40 odd jerry cans or something. Down into our anchor pocket here on the foredeck, differences being a twin anchor as opposed to the single on the 150. These anchors come in at roughly 940, 950 pounds each, so plenty of grunt there. We've got some cushions coming up on the daybed here. Moving further aft, you'll see on the back side, coming to a bigger bridge deck aft area. Great space. The addition of the jacuzzi here, you know, it's going to be a nice al fresco, if you will. Missing the heli hanger at the minute. That was pulled off to take the boat out of the water. That'll come back on board and lock into place, reconnect. So there's power into that and firefighting water going into that as well. Hyla crane, Italian company, 60-foot reach with a 8.5 ton load at that reach. We're going to have 1,800 gallons of Jet A1 for the helicopter. After that, the sub's going to be on deck, and then we've got a little utility tender, Highfield, going on board. So a lot of kit to look after and maintain, but you know, this is the platform for it. We're really going to see how all of this comes together. It's you know, it is make or break to pass this endurance test. And then also the seatrial as a whole. You know, it's not just a 4-hour cruise at 100%. There's a lot of boxes to tick. All the protection will come off. All the cushions and upholstery will get finalized and put into place, and really get the, you know, lift the aesthetics of the boat. And that allows us to get things on board, the interior side of things, to, you know, plates, sheets, just toiletries, laundry bits and pieces, you know. All the little things you forget about, not to mention all your machinery spares, and then obviously deck side of things as well. Simple jerry cans, you know, cleaning equipment. It's not, yeah, it's not going to be straightforward. It's going to be hustle. It's going to be a big push, and we're all actually really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome, actually, to get out of here and carry on and crack on with the world tour. Yeah. Put this thing into practice.
Ryan'ı çok seviyorum. Ryan çok iyi bir insan ve Ryan'ın düşüncesi ve fikirleri çok güzel ve düzgün, çok iyi. Ve yat, balıkçılık, o tip şeyler benim hoşuma gidiyor. Ve bu mesleği seçmem amacım da zaten bunların hepsini tek tek görmek, hepsini daha iyi bir şekilde ve daha iyi koşullarda yaşamak. Ve Damen bünyesinin altında bunların hepsini gördüğüm için çok mutluyum. Ve farklı denizimiz olsun, ondan sonra insanlarımız olsun, her türlü koşulda çok güzeller ve çok mutlular yani. Bu bu yatın yapımında çok zevk aldım ve her şeyini baştan sona kadar gördüm. Ve çok iyi çalışma olanakları sağladı benim için. Çok iyi şeyleri gördüm, çok farklı şeyler. Benim Damen'in özel olarak değişik ve farklı yöntemlerini ve bu inovasyon olarak diye söyleyebildiğimiz bunların hepsini birleştirerek ve müşterinin, mürettebatın beğenebileceği bir şekilde karşımıza çıkartıyorlar. Ve karşımızda çok güzel bir işçilik ve özel yapım var.
For one individual to carry out what Anthony's carrying out on this magnitude and this scale, for him to put everything into place and have the resources available, it's fantastic. And obviously that grant is in the near future, we all hope. Not just for Anthony's sake, for all of us. It's one big team, one big family, and I mean to be a part of it, it's fantastic.